Welcome everyone. Today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a tutorial, easy for you to say, on hanging baskets, right? And I'm actually going to give it a slight tropical twist. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So just before we get into it and before it rains, this actually cost me around £10, right? Without the compost. Big bag of compost like this is about £5.99. This is Groshaw. So far, I have found that this is the best one that I have come across that is budget friendly, or in my budget. So when I say something's sort of fairly priced, right, or reasonably priced, it's kind of, what I mean is it's reasonably priced to me because I'm quite cheap. Anyway, £10 plus compost, which I think is a bargain. Now, you can pick these up on Facebook Marketplace and things like that. It's got no liner, but we're going to go ahead, use the compost bag to line it. Really simple, as long as we get some drainage holes in, which is very important. Then we're going to get into how many plants, see how windy it is, how many plants you want in. This is a 14-inch basket. I'll go through a couple of different sizes with the amounts of plants, what plants are going in. First job, we need to actually line this because it's seen better days. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut open my actual compost. I'm more than halfway through. What I'm going to do is make sure that black is on the outside, but I don't want to see any green or blue on the outside of it. Now you may need to overlap this, it really doesn't matter if you have to. Now, before you go trimming the sides and all these bits hanging over, actually fill it up with compost once you've made your hole. So we'll make some holes in the bottom. This can be done from the bottom. There we go. And then we're going to fill it up. And we're going to fill it pretty much to the top, just so we get a good idea of where we can trim this off to, because you don't want to see this, right? And you won't by the time it's finished, I promise. Of course, you can buy liners. I'm just trying to save you a couple of quid. I've done it like this for quite a few years. It holds the moisture brilliantly, but really make sure you put some good drainage holes in like I have, because it will catch you out. So, there we have it. I'm just going to go and trim around the edges as close to this as you can. Now don't worry about it too much because the plants will cover it over. At this moment in time it'll look like something like this, so you can see a little bit, but underneath you can't see anything, right? And that's the most important thing. You don't want to have like blue or green or any of the colours from the bags out this. You can use a bin liner, but I find bin liners break down a little bit easier. It only needs to last this one season anyway, but actually it will last you a lot longer. So I may trim it down a little bit more just before we finish it. Now, we're always going to start with the centre. Now, not every pot or every hanging basket needs a centerpiece. You can just simply put either your bedders all in. So we'll just talk a little bit about positions in your garden, and we'll talk a little bit about what plant suits what. So I've got a south-facing garden. I'm very lucky. What I would be looking at is something like a geranium or a Sophinia, a petunia, something like that. Something what absolutely loves the sun. Now, if you've got quite a shady garden or like part sun, part shade, I'd recommend you went something with like a fuchsia. Either you can get cascading ones, and then towards the middle, I'd always recommend that you buy something upright. So what I mean by that is you can get verbena upright or trailers. You can get geraniums upright or trailers. You can get fuchsias uprights or trailers. You get the idea. Upright in the middle and then trailing round the sides. Now it will say on all of the pots in the garden centres or wherever you go to, whether it's trailing or whether it is upright, if that makes sense. Now what I want to do with mine is something a little bit different. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a Cordyline australis in the middle of mine. Now, 2 reasons. One, I really wanted another Cordyline for the garden, but I knew I couldn't plant it out because it's too little, if that makes sense. I really need to give this one some winter protection this year, then it can go out next year when it gets a bit bigger. So it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And the inspiration come from when I went to London last year. They had Cordylines and Fatsia japonicas in these really big baskets outside a theatre, I think it was, and it looked the part. It looked fantastic. Now this will put on a little bit of growth this year, I'm not going to lie to you, and the chains may sort of give it a few problems, but I'm not too worried about that. Again, that's something I can get over and can get on with. A Fatsia japonica would look really lovely in the middle with some plants around the outside. If you don't want to do that kind of thing, you can put shrubs in. Some people put small conifers in the middle, or a little shrub called euonymus or choisia, something like a little evergreen. But I'm going to go for this because my garden at the rear is slightly tropical, so I want it to sort of look the part. So as this hangs up on my summer house, I want it to look a little bit different. So first job, and I always recommend that you start in the middle. Now, I will just show you, can we appreciate how good the roots are on that? This was from B&M and it cost £5. So I think is a really great price. So I am making my hole in the middle and it's going straight into the middle of the basket. Now this is a 14-inch basket, so I would recommend that you only have 3 plants planted inside it, because these will get big really quite quick and the roots will really take over the pot. If you end up putting 5 in here, what you'll find is, yes, it'll look good straight away, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you can absolutely do that, but it will quickly use up the nutrients in the compost, which you have to feed baskets anyway, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But it will just give these a good chance to get going, get the soil in. And not only that, very often, like these are Sophinia petunias, and these were on offer for 5 for £5. So I've actually got 2 spare to plant somewhere else, which again is another little tip. So this is a 14-inch, I'm going for 3 plants. So I'll plant them literally in a triangle. As mentioned, these are Sophinia petunias. I'll just show you this. Look how lovely those are. They've got a couple of flowers that have actually finished. You can tell because they've started to wilt. All you need to simply do is take the whole thing off like that. And I'll do that on all of these because it'll encourage more flowers. And it's a really good job to do before you actually put it into your basket. And then we've got tight budded ones and ones which have just been opened. So this variety is called Aurora Star Burgundy, if anyone's interested. That's not the best example, I'll show you a better one. But around the edge, what we want to do, get a nice big hole, cover it back round, and repeat the process. That is a better example. They're absolutely lovely. But again, just take the dead heads off. The more dead heads you take off, the more flowers you will get over the season. And this is with any plant when it comes to summer bedders, or in general. So that's one. Now what you don't want to do is push down on it. You want to get a big hole, go in and just place them in. Don't push them in because bedding plants do have sensitive roots. So don't think, well, I'll just push it through and squeeze it in, because you'll just crush them and then they'll sulk all summer. So again, I'm making the 3rd hole for the 3rd plant. I actually hand selected all of these, so I know they're pretty decent. But again, I'll just take off those dead ones or any damaged. It'll save me a job. Again, I'm not forcing it in or forcing it down, so it leaves me with a couple spare for somewhere else, which I'll make the most of. Now what I'm going to do is create a slight mound in the middle, just a very slight one, just for when it's watering, it'll just sort of run off a little bit. Now absolutely you can add nutrients to this, so what you can do is you can mix up some fish blood and bone or bone meal, mix it in with your compost and pop it in. There's something called Osmocot or Osmocote, which is a slow release fertilizer that you can mix in with your soil, and that will feed up to sort of, I think it's 2 to 3 months now. But what I do with all of mine is I actually give them a seaweed feed or a tomato feed. So we've all heard of Tomarite, not a sponsored video, but Tomarite or like a home brand in Tesco is exactly the same. So you can just feed Tomarite to your baskets, but you will have to do it every week in order to keep them looking good. But if you can do it every week, I will promise you it's a game changer. They'll look absolutely fantastic. So as mentioned, this is a 14-inch basket and I've gone with 3 plants. I will give this a really good water in. And that hanging basket is finished. As you can see, there's gaps in it just here, but these plants will soon fill that. It's what they're designed to do. I'm actually disappointed that I didn't buy another cord line, and I could have actually twinned it. But I didn't, so that's just the way it is. So, let's talk sizes. So this is a 14-inch, 12-inch is really quite difficult. It's very, very small. It will take 3 plants, but 3 plants total. This has got 4 plants in, including the one in the middle. So, again, same thing, you can mix some Osmocot in with it, mix some fish blood and bone, or you can give it like a Tomarite feed every single week. You don't need to start feeding it until about 4 weeks time, because this compost actually says up to 4 months, but really, rule of thumb is it's 4 to 6 weeks worth of feed in your standard bags of compost. So you can mark it off in your calendar, don't worry about it for a month, let them grow, let them mature, and then in 4 to 6 weeks time start your feeding program. And I think Tomarite, like the home brand varieties, you can get from around £3, and it's a good investment because it's like 1 cap to an actual watering can, and you just pop it in, mix it up, and then water it once a week. Obviously you're going to water your baskets most days in the summer, especially if you're in a nice sunny spot and they'll dry out, or a windy spot, because they will tend to dry out as well. So water every day, it's just once a week you'll be feeding it. I'm really happy with this. I think it gives a different style. I'm actually going to show you where it's going in the garden, but it's not going there yet. So here in Staffordshire, it's give decent weather for next week, but not this week. We're still having some cool nights, so I'm going to make a real effort to just keep this in the greenhouse for another few days yet, and then if the weather's good next week, and I'll check my 2-week forecast, and that's a really good tip, I'm going to actually put it out and hang it up. So I'll show you where it's going. I hope that's covered it. Obviously anything above 14-inch really starts to become quite a big basket, and then you can just go in sort of 3s, 5s, 8s, and all that sort of good stuff, if that makes sense to you. So just a short recap, if you're lining it yourself, please make sure you give decent drainage holes in, so when you water it, it can water out without it getting waterlogged. Don't worry about overfilling them, your baskets. When it comes to plants themselves, they will spread out beautifully. So if you're on a real budget and you only sort of want 3 plants, this sort of size basket would have just took 3 plants and it would have been absolutely fine. The cord line, for me, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I wanted another one. I'll probably do this every year now because I think it looks absolutely brilliant. I'll give you a bit of a closer look in just a moment, because it doesn't do it justice, because we've got loads of stuff going on in the background. I'm going to give it a really good water. I've already dead-headed them, and you'll need to do this every week through the growing season in order to keep more and more flowers. But I've got a decent amount of soil in here for the plants, and I will give this a seaweed feed every single week. But I'm really pleased with it. Now, I think you'll agree it'll look way better when I've actually got a proper roof on my summer house, which is a work in progress, right? But gardens always are. For me, it's not about that. It's just about making small steps all the time. Really excited that I've actually made this today. Hopefully you guys have got something from it, and you, if you're new to gardening, hopefully it shows you that it really is that simple, right? Just sort of roll your sleeves up and have a go. Now, just on new gardeners, right? Thank you so much, everyone who comments. I'll let you into a secret though when it comes to gardening. I kill loads of plants too, right? That's just the way it is. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, because we have many casualties in the garden, should we say. Let me know if you've made your own hanging basket, if you're going to purchase a hanging basket. Is it something you're going to grow this season? This has only cost me £10 minus the basket, minus the compost, right? But I'm happy about it. Done on a budget. I didn't really have much money to spend for that. I knew I wanted something on the summer house, but I've turned it slightly tropical, which I'm excited about as well. So if you did enjoy it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out, and drop a comment down below, as it helps share it out to others who love gardening just like we do. Until tomorrow, I will see you in the garden. You take care.